Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it's time to do my first paycheck to paycheck budget for the month of March. If you guys missed my March budget with me, where I came up with all of my numbers, what I wanted to save, went over all my bills, all of that, I will link that video up in the eye in the sky. My March budget goes from March 11th until I think it's February, April 10th, 7th, April 7th. So, sorry this video is getting out so late to you guys today. It was supposed to be out at 2:15, but I woke up yesterday with kind of like a low-grade headache, and I made it all the way through work with no issue, but then it was like once I got off work, my headache just intensified as I was driving home, and my headache was so bad when I got home. I'm like, there's no way that I can record this video, edit it, and get it out this afternoon, so I just decided to sleep instead. So going back to the paycheck to paycheck budget that we set up at the beginning of the month in last month's video, this is the paycheck we will be working off of. I did earn at least $1166.38, so we can go ahead and check that off. So this paycheck, we have the Amazon Prime membership coming out for $119, car insurance, travel membership, and then the budget for the variable expenses of $615. So let's go ahead and get this going. All right, so first fixed expense is Amazon Prime. And I am going to be doing something a little bit different with this paycheck as far as my savings go, and you guys will see that once we get down to the savings portion. So we have car insurance, and that is due on the 21st. And that is $129.66. And then we have the travel membership that's due on the 24th. This paycheck goes from March 11th to March 24th, as you guys can see, and that's going to be $30. And then, like always, I do an unbudgeted. Oh, I just realized I think I'm late in making my declaration for my personal property. Oh, why? And I forgot my dang calculator. Let me go get that. Okay, now I'm prepared. All right, so $119 plus the $129.66 and then $30 is going to give me a total for fixed expenses of $278.66. If we subtract that from the $1172.32, that was my paycheck. I explained this in my last paycheck too, but I had 2 days where I ended up staying an extra 15 minutes, so that's why it's not $1166 whatever that it usually is. Okay, so remaining, so one of those days was from the last paycheck, the other one was for this paycheck. I have $893.66. Variable expenses, the only thing we have is the budget. There's no due date, of course, and that's going to be $615. And then again, unbudgeted. Then we have $615 for the total, and the remaining is still going to be positive. Tripping. So $278.66. So now that we come down to the savings portion, I am going to go to my weekly allocations page first to see how much we're even going to be allotting for savings. My threshold this month is $773.42, which basically is the amount of my fixed expenses. And in actuality, I think it's not going to be that high because I don't think the rent is going to start on the 1st, but that's okay. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, so my percentages for the month is 70% for checking, yeah, and then 30% for savings. So paycheck 1, the income is $1172.32. Okay, so in order to figure out how much I'm keeping in my checking account and for my fixed and variable expenses, and then how much I'm putting into savings, I have to do my little calculations. So I take my income, we're gonna subtract how much my fixed expenses are because this is my very first paycheck. So I do not start allocating money for my variable expenses and then for savings until I've earned enough to pay all of my fixed expenses, whatever that's estimated to be, which is this. So if I subtract my fixed expenses from my income, I'm gonna have $398.90 left over, which means from here, now that I've earned enough money to cover my fixed expenses, this is what I have left over to divvy up for money to keep in my checking for my variable expenses and then also for savings. So basically, now that I've already started to allocate money towards savings, every single paycheck that I earn from here to the end of the month or the end of this budget month, not including, well, it'll just be basically including YouTube and then my second paycheck from my PRN job, then we will be divvying the entire checkup because I won't have to be subtracting any amounts from that because we've already covered the fixed expenses basically. So we're gonna keep 70% over here and then we're gonna put 30% over there. So 70% is gonna give me $279.23 to keep in my checking for variable expenses, okay? And then $398.90. That means I have $119.67 for savings, okay? So because we did earn enough with this first paycheck to cover our threshold, then we will do a 70-30 split. So $119.67 will go, actually, it's not going to end up going, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. It's actually going to be 0. I'm going to put 30% over here. It's not going to be debt, but I'm going to put it somewhere else, and we'll talk about that in a second. So in order to put in here what I'm going to keep in my checking, I need to first add in the $773.42 that we kept out of the equation. Why? Because everything that's staying in my checking is not just what we have here, but also what I kept off to the side for my fixed expenses. So that's a total of $1,052.65. And the reason why I know that this math is correct is because once I put this in the box and then I add in this $119.67 that I have for the savings percentage, that gives me the amount of my check. So let's go ahead and put that in, 65. And then I'm gonna put the $119.67 over here. But what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna put that into my investment account at TD Ameritrade. And the reason why I am doing that is because if we go back here to what my plan was for the month, I have that I want to put at least $300 in my investment account this month. And then I want to put the rest of the remaining and split that up between these accounts. Right now is kind of the best time to buy stocks, especially if you kind of know which stocks to buy into and different things like that. So I'm kind of mad because I really wanted to buy Apple yesterday and something just, I don't know, I guess because I was kind of hung up at work and I wasn't really thinking, but Apple went up 10% today alone. And of course the market's very volatile, it's going up and down right now. But my priority right now, because I do have like almost $43,000 in savings, I think, my priority is not just continuing to save for a rainy day, but also starting to really put forth effort into my investment account for long-term investments I'm going to be holding for 20-30 years. So because I have enough money in my savings and I feel comfortable, this amount will not be going to savings. It's going to go to my investment account instead. Next month I'm going, or not next month, next paycheck, I'm going to finish off whatever's needed for this $300, put that into the investment account, and then we'll start splitting things off into these 3 savings that I always save towards. And then probably at the end of the month, once I reconcile down, the majority, if not all of what I reconcile down, will go into my investment account some more. So that's just what I want to do right now. But let's go ahead and finish off the paycheck to paycheck budget. So that's like my thinking right now. So no savings. So we are actually going to just put unbudgeted here, because I don't plan to put anything into savings with this check. So my total is going to be 0. Excuse me. And then we have remaining $278.66. But then I am going to, I think I do want to do red. $119.67 to the investment account. And the only reason I'm doing this part is because if I don't subtract that $119.67 out somewhere in here, it's going to throw my numbers off. So that's going to give me a remaining $158.99. All right, so let's come down to the bottom real quick and set up our reconciliation. So my beginning balance for the month in my checking account was $4,000. It always is that. The income is $1172.32. So that's going to give me a total of $5172.32. Fixed expense is $278.66. Variable is going to be $615. And since I didn't do savings at all, I'm just gonna go ahead and erase it, and I'm gonna put minus investment, and then let's go ahead and put the $119.67 there. And again, I have to do that because it's gonna throw off my numbers as far as like what I have left in my checking account on paper versus what's really there if I don't account for that $119.67 that I'm putting off to the side. So $5172.32 minus $278.66 minus $615, and then minus the $119.67. I should have an ending balance in my checking account of $4158.99 if all of this happens exactly how it is. And the reason why I know that that's correct is because if I take my beginning balance and I add or subtract whatever the remaining is, it should give me what my ending balance is. So 4,000 plus that is that. So we are good there. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. I will be doing some probably monthly updates as far as my investment account goes, and it will start probably towards the end of this month. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already, but other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.